Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Power. I'm here at AT&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys in Arlington, Texas, where Ohio State just beat TCU in the Advocare Showdown in a battle of top 15 teams. Well, we roll out one Matrix turf with Helix technology and roll in another as the Dallas Cowboys prepare to take on the New York Giants in their home opener in the 2018 season. Let's show you exactly how it takes place and how quickly it happens.
For a change like this, where we're going field to field, 8 hours is a good time. The fastest I've ever done it was about 6 hours and 45 minutes. That was a really short turnaround from college to Cowboys, but we had a noon kick. It's a lot more efficient for us if we put down a Cowboys panel or a Pro panel, and we already have a pipe on the machine, so we can just go a section over and roll up a college panel with that same pipe. We don't have to go back, we don't have to load. It just speeds the whole process up and makes it a lot more efficient that way. As busy as our stadium is, we have a lot of events that are smashed right up next to the other. And so we do have a lot of overnight changes. This turf is fabulous. We've gone with Hellas a number of times, and this is by far the best one that we've had from an aesthetic standpoint, a playability standpoint. I think we've fine-tuned this particular field to suit all of our needs this time around. I can't see the seams. That is the ultimate compliment that could be paid, is where are the seams. And if somebody can't see the seams, then I feel like I've really done my job to get the best quality product out there.
Yeah, we're at the Star in Frisco. This is the headquarters of the Dallas Cowboys. Of course, Hellas Construction has put in a couple of fields here. A nice Matrix turf with Helix technology, synthetic field. Cowboys getting ready to start the season. Are we ready for some football? Our road trip to SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. What's up, Terrence Parker? Yeah. You ready for some football? Oh yeah, here's our trailer right here. We're getting ready to go to Los Angeles, California. All right, but today it's all about the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. We're here in Frisco at the Ford Center. Let's check it out. Hellas Construction also has an office at the headquarters in Frisco. AT&T Stadium is home to the Dallas Cowboys. It opened in 2009 and was Hellas Construction's first professional football stadium and is still a Hellas partner to this day. AT&T Stadium installed a soft-top convertible turf system, which allows for an increased number and variety of events that maximizes revenue and programming potential.
Next stop, Van Horn, Texas.
The relationship with the Miami Dolphins and Hellas is a very good relationship. Hellas gets it. They understand what our needs are in terms of what the players need as far as field performance. And I think that they hit that nail right on the head. No question, I think Hellas has the best product out in the market today. We've grown that relationship, and now we have a second field. I'm very confident about the field and the playability. In South Florida, our weather situation is severe. It rains here quite often. We have to have the indoor because of safety. Having a great field helps with the natural field, because now we can balance out the wear and tear on the natural field whenever we have to. As the Dolphins organization, we want to put out the best product that's on the market for our players.
Not only did the Miami Dolphins go with a Matrix Helix synthetic turf by Hellas Construction, but also GeoPlus Infill, which will help keep the field about 40 degrees cooler than traditional SBR Chrome rubber, plus a 19mm E-layer cush drain below the turf, which will actually help the field drain better and provide more safety for the players.
Player safety is paramount here, and everything we do is geared towards that. We elected to go with the 19mm E-layer cush drain. We felt that having this product would be good for the players, meet our GMAX qualification, as well as putting a good quality product that would last us a long time. We need consistency, we need professionalism. Having that relationship is very, very important. I think there is a positive feel, and I'm excited to be a part of this organization and be a part of the staff, providing the services and helping the team to reach their goals. goals. It's fitting, the stadium is here, so everything works out great in terms of fans and the community, so great.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
My name is David Gertie, Director of Operations with ASM Global at NRG Park in Houston, Texas. I oversee the grounds department here, which is directly tied to the Hellas contract and Harris County Sports and Convention Corporation's field install here. For 6 months a year, we have the field installed, allowing the Texans to play their home games at our facility. And then the other 6 months a year, we generally have a concrete surface allowing the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo to play. Certainly the importance of the Hellas field is being able to work with us to pull the field up. It is about a 3-week install. It takes about a week to get out. So Hellas has been paramount in making that happen and working with us and our busy schedule here to make sure it gets done in a timely and efficient manner. Hellas worked with us heavily on the front end, knowing that this is a temporary install. And it was important for us to find a good partner that could supply a product that was important to both player safety, being able to rebound well from event to event, as we do host a lot of events on top of the surface. We've hosted everything from children's family events, Monster Jam, Disney on Ice, things of that nature, as well as several large concerts, including Taylor Swift, Beyonce. Our install is very unique in that it's on a semi-permanent basis. It's down 4 to 6 months a year. That allows us to have additional events in the fall during the season. While we do have those high school football games, college football games, of course the Houston Texans, covering the field is an 8-hour process that allows us to keep the field in for that 4 to 6 month period. And host those other major events that come through Houston. It really makes for a great setup for our needs. Every facility is certainly unique. You have to factor in a lot of things for your facility, whether it's storage capabilities, again, that event schedule. Based on what we've experienced over the past few years, 4 years exactly, and signed on again for another year next year, I'd certainly say we're happy with the product moving forward. And if anyone came to me with any questions, I'd certainly point them in Hellas' direction.
During the week, I did a little research and read an article that the turf in SoFi Stadium was the same turf used for the Texans and the Cowboys stadiums. And I thought I had good games whenever we kicked there as well. So I wasn't too worried. And then after the first couple kicks, I was used to the turf. I think it's really nice. It almost feels like you're kicking on grass. I felt really good today, and I had a great warm-up and then was able to continue that in the game. So if you look back to 2017 against the Texans, same turf, like I said, 49-yarder at the end of the game, barely made it over. So I definitely have a stronger leg than I did in 2017. Last year I had a pretty strong leg, but did not have accuracy. this offseason, I was able to make a lot of long kicks, and then going into training camp, I really wanted to show the coaches I could be consistent from that distance. I thought I was in training camp, and then a day like today where you're indoors, basically no wind, I was able to hit from 67 before the game and 70 at halftime. Coach Tobe knew that, and he told Coach Reed that if we get to the 40-yard line, we'll be good. That'd be a 58-yarder, and I can just swing easy. I don't need to change anything.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Power. We're here at the Las Vegas Raiders headquarters, the Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center here in Henderson, Nevada. We're going to go through the procedure here of installing a cush drain. Here's Hellas Construction's Jeff Dixon with more.
Hello, my name is Jeff Dixon. I'm a surfacing superintendent for Hellas Construction. We are inside the Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center. The building behind me measures 605 feet long by 213 feet wide, which equals about 129,000 square feet of surface that we're putting down here. What you see behind me is E-layer surfacing, which is the rock, rubber, polyurethane. This one is being paved down 1 inch thick, and then the turf will go on top of this. This will be wall-to-wall turf when it's all said and done. So this is what we call an E-layer or shock pad. It's got the rock, the black rubber, and it's bound together by polyurethane at a 9% rate. So you have 65% rubber, 35% rock. Binder is what holds it all together. And we just pave it out at a 25 millimeter thickness is what the required thickness is. We've been checking with lasers. There's a mix station way down 600 feet away from us, and it's for the super E-layer equipment. It holds rock in one side, rubber in the other, and then we have binder connected to it behind it, and it produces the material we dump into a holding box, but then the loaders come in, pick it up, take it to the pavers, and dump it right into the hopper of the paver. So it's a much cleaner, faster process that way. One mix station is running 2 super E-layer pavers right now and doing a very good job of keeping up. Once we feed the paver the material, the tires disturb the grade. So we have big rollers come in and roll it flat again before we put our material on top of it. You know, this is a flat field. Most fields have pitches in them outdoors. Indoors is a flat field. We've got 2 full crews here right now, so we have 11 men here. Myself is 12. So we're able to combine since we're only using 1 mix station. That is the first time we've had 2 super E-layer pavers running, you know, basically side by side, one and just in front of the other one, doing what's called echelon paving, just making up a lot of ground fast when you have 2 big pavers running side by side. So the edges of the building, when you see the interior of the building and the beams that are holding this big thing together, well, they decided to go wall to wall with the turf, so that means we had to go wall to wall with the E-layer and work around every beam that's in here, and there's a beam every 30 feet. And then there's struts and supports. This has been a fun project to work on. Hellas and the Raiders will have a proud partnership together, and I'm sure that Hellas is very proud to be part of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, that concludes Phase 3 here at the Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center, the headquarters for the Las Vegas Raiders. Cush drain is in place. Next up, the synthetic turf, Matrix turf with Helix technology installed by Hellas. We'll have that Phase 4 for you right here in Henderson coming up.
My name is Gary Johnson. I'm a turf superintendent with Hellas Construction. We're here at the Raiders practice facility to install the new turf on the indoor. So what they're going to have here is an entire field to practice on, and then another half field to utilize on that end past the field. There are 3 end zones. That partial field is 40 yards plus end zone. Initially, when you lay the turf down, of course, it come off of a roll. A lot of times what we try and do, especially if we're outdoors, we try to acclimate the turf. But even with that, you have scallops or small wrinkles in the turf material. There is a lot of handwork around the walls here. There are electrical systems, camera systems, water systems, fire sprinkler systems, you name it, it's in this. As we're initially building, all of this is nailed off entirely. But when you have tension pulled against it, you're already set, there's no movement. Initially when we start with the sidelines. The reasons for the end is because the sidelines actually tie into the ends, they don't go to the walls, so it gives us a tie point. What you're seeing is us do the entire perimeter of the field. So this is center point of the big field. This is the 50-yard line. We start on the sidelines for a simple reason, and that is to stretch the turf material, because we're going to pull the turf material taut on the play area, and it gives you a tie point on both sides. And then we'll move to the center of the field, or the belly of the field, if you will. And we'll begin here at the 50-yard line and work our way to each goal line and beyond. And the reason that we do that is we want exacting measurements. So every 15 feet, obviously, there's a white line. We want to make sure by measurement on each particular roll that they hit that mark. This particular measurement is where we measure off both directions to build out. And we also stretch it mechanically before we actually install and glue it together. Get them all as they should be in their place and start putting it together. The logos are not painted on, they're actually cut out with water jet and shipped to site. Same with the numbers. There are some things that you have handwork on, hash marks, inlaid lines if we're installing a different field event in the field other than football, lettering. There is a lot of pride and perfection in building the field. Hellas employs really good people. We're going to take the time to make sure that everything, the logo, the letters, everything is exactly as it should be. This group will actually lay out for each individual letter any field markings whatsoever. They'll be laid out to the exact measurement. And then once they're laid in, we will actually cut out for that letter and check it again to make sure that it's exactly as it should be. One of the last things we do are the inlays. There's so much detail and precision to it that it's checked at least 3 times. You lay it out, you've measured. You cut it in, you've measured it. You install it, you've measured it again. During this process, Hellas uses a lot of measurements to make sure that everything is exactly as it should be. Thank you for joining us with the turf installation at the Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center, home of the Raiders headquarters and practice facility. I'm Hellas Superintendent Gary Johnson. Thank you.
It's all about commitment to excellence.
A commitment to excellence is the foundation of the Las Vegas Raiders. Hellas Construction, a proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders, has helped bring this vision to light.
We started at 4:30 this morning. We got about 40 to 80 trucks coming in today of sand.
Hellas built and installed 6 playing surfaces between the Intermountain Healthcare Performance Center and Allegiant Stadium.
This is where we train. This is where we get ready for game days. This site in Henderson is our home. Working with Hellas has been great. Everything's been class act.
The Las Vegas Raiders have chosen Hellas to do all of their surfacing for this entire campus, so we're very proud to be their partners here.
In Henderson, Hellas built 3 outdoor natural grass football fields from the ground up, along with the largest indoor professional football facility, complete with a 25mm cush drain pad. Inside the headquarters, the Raiders selected the premier synthetic turf, Matrix Helix with Real Fill by Hellas.
Hellas uses a lot of measurements to make sure that everything is exactly as it should be. There's so much detail and precision to it that it's checked at least 3 times. You lay it out, you've measured. You cut it in, you've measured it. You install it, you've measured it again.
At Allegiant Stadium, Hellas also installed 2 Matrix Helix synthetic fields with Real Fill infill. The Matrix soft top convertible turf system allows the stadium to host a variety of events and maximize usage of the venue. We're wrapping it up here at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. How fitting, a Hollywood ending right here. Of course, this is the home of the Rams and the Chargers. This is the end of the hashtag Road to SoFi Stadium, hashtag Great American Road Trip. You might remember we hit multiple stadiums across the country on this journey. In fact, Mercedes-Benz Stadium in both Atlanta and New Orleans, the Superdome. And then, of course, AT&T Stadium in Arlington with the Cowboys. We stopped off in Glendale at State Farm Stadium, as well as the final touch here at SoFi Stadium here in LA. Of course, Hellas Construction has installed Matrix Turf with Helix technology. That's the top-of-the-line product at Hellas. Incidentally, the first regular season home game at this stadium for the LA Rams will be the Dallas Cowboys. How fitting. Hollywood versus America's team. Should be a lot of fun right here in Los Angeles. I'm Jeff Power for Hellas Construction.
Cache is the gateway of the Wichitas, and we also are a neighboring school district to Fort Sill, which is the largest artillery base in the nation. One of the things we're known for is our facilities, and that only comes because of our community support. When we made the decision to go with Hellas, the workmanship was second to none. They really came in, took care of business, did what they're supposed to do, and as what you can tell, is we have a great product out here.
The Cache Bulldogs going all out with Matrix Helix synthetic turf installed by Hellas, as well as a cush drain below the surface, which will not only allow the field to drain better but help reduce concussions. Plus, they went with EcoTherm infill, which will help keep the field about 20 degrees cooler than traditional SBR crumb rubber. You won't find too many fields in the state of Oklahoma like Cache.
With the Cush Drain and the EcoTherm, we just felt like that would give us a better opportunity to protect our kids. The EcoTherm, definitely in August, when we have about 100 kids out here playing football, we can already tell a difference on what we have now. The Cush Drain's really done a great job of getting the water off and away from our field. A lot of times in the past turf field that we had, you would see a lot of the pebbles, the rubber pellets, it'd be floating up on our track and so forth. We didn't see any of that with this last big rain. It's a shocker how much of a difference that Cush Drain makes your feet feel when you walk on something like this. So we're really glad to have it.
The turf looks amazing. I mean, it turned out great. We got a full 120-yard field, the gray lines. I mean, the kids love it.
We decided to go with the slanted letters outlined in gray with the white on the red, so we think it looks great. David Fisher, the Hellas sales rep, he was great to work with. He's an Oklahoman, so he got to understand what we're dealing with. He explained everything that when we had questions, and he just reassured us that what we were getting was a quality product. The buying process was great, and I was pleased to work with Hellas.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
It turned out just the way we wanted it and looked great, and the people were excited, the community was excited that first game, and the Matrix Helix product is found to get the Super Bowl. It was kind of neat to see that, basically maintenance free, and the kids love moving on it, running, cutting. It's really been a great thing for us. We're really proud of the Chiefs, the Arrowhead logo, and what we stand for, and we wanted to be there where everybody could see it and make it look really nice. And then when we got to our numbers, and we'd seen a lot of schools that had types of shading, so we went over here and shaded our numbers, and they go all the way down both sides. On the 20-yard lines, we put the gold on both sides, just kind of make that stand out and add more color to our field and make it look just more professional.
Not only did the Berry Hill Chiefs go with Matrix Helix synthetic turf installed by Hellas Construction, but they also went with a Cush Drain below the surface, which will help the field drain better and also help reduce concussions.
2 or 3 days in a row where we had heavy rains and we played that night, the drainage was great. It's amazing how that water can be off the field as soon as it hits it. I mean, you can go play and ready to go. People coming by, I have other coaches come out here and amazed by it, and they walk around on it and see how soft it is, and I think it's because we have one of the only few in Oklahoma with the concussion pad underneath it. Groups love this. The band can come march on it over and over again. They get a chance to be on the field. We've got our younger programs. Our elementary comes up here and does fun days and works on the field. Our Little Chiefs teams that play on this every weekend. Just great use for everybody. It's not just pure football, it's for the community and for all the kids. All of our sports, end up here at some time using it and makes it a great surface. Great company to work with and very proud of it.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
We had a tornado on the campus and hit our field. That was the only thing that it hit. So it tore out our dugouts, it tore up all the turf, it tore the outfield fence down, so it kind of sped up us getting the newer turf. Before we got the turf, we were used to mowing 2 or 3 times a week, so this has been a blessing for the coaches. It takes a lot of time to prepare a field when you don't have the turf, and this has allowed us to put more time into playing and practicing.
This Major Play turf by Hellas looks sensational here at Broken Arrow High School near Tulsa, Oklahoma. The B, of course, and then the A, which is actually the Broken Arrow itself. How about the detail here with the feather?
Our BA logo, which I think is one of the greatest logos around. It's really unique. We're proud of it, proud of what it represents, and we put the tiger claw out in the center. It really looks good. That was something that we added this time. We love the color of it. If it rains, we're on it in 10 or 15 minutes. I think it plays better. It gives us a chance to play every day, to practice every day.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
This is very tradition-rich communities as far as Del City and Midwest City, and of course in these 2 communities we have 3 high schools, Del City High School, Midwest City High School, and Carl Albert High School that's in Midwest City as well. Our community passed a bond 2 years ago. We went to the board in November and this was done February 1st. It was pretty simple. Hellas was the company to go with. They worked with us 10 years ago and we have had nothing but success.
What started with Matrix 1 by Hellas a decade ago has worked out well for all 3 high schools in Mid-Del School District. Countless championships, all on Hellas synthetic turf.
It's been a safe product, kept our athletes out of harm's way, and so it's pretty easy going with Hellas again this time. They did a job that we were very proud of.
Carl Albert High School has won 15 state championships in football, including 4 in a row. They play here on Matrix turf with Helix technology, as does Midwest City and Del City. They've all got their own stadiums. This is big time here in Oklahoma.
All 3 of our schools have had serious success in football over the last decade, if not longer. Carl Albert behind me has won won 4 in a row. Del City made it to the semifinals this year. Midwest City has been a semifinalist for the last 2 years. We have really good soccer programs, track programs. We're 4-time defending state champs at Del City. We've won one here and at Midwest City. Obviously the look is nice.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. We're here with JJ Tapana, head coach at Bishop Kelly. 16 years you've been the head coach here, but the fan experience at Bishop Kelly, since Hellas Construction got involved, has completely changed the way Bishop Kelly football is presented.
Absolutely, it's been awesome. Why don't we go take a ride on our elevator and take a look at our new field and our new press box.
That's a good start. Let's roll.
Oh, that's unusual for it to be at the bottom and open it up. You usually have to wait a few seconds. So. Yeah, it's a pretty cool deal to have an elevator in your stadium. It's been good for us. It's really been good for our game day sponsors and our donor suite also. It's been good for us. So this is our 2,000 square foot press box that we just recently built. And it's been great for us. It's been great for our visiting coaches and great for all the news media and everybody that's been able to come up and follow us, all the streaming services, internet streaming of the games. And we've got a film deck right here that we put all the outdoor filmers on. And it's built in such a way that it's very hard to get the rain in here, very hard to get bad weather blowing in on you. So usually even in the rain so far, everybody stayed dry out here and there's plenty of room for media and for all the opposing coaches and my coaches and my filmer and 2 or 3 different angles for everybody. So this is our little kitchenette that we have in the press box up here. We got a full setup with a sink and a fridge and a freezer. Tables. We got a couple of windows here that we put in so that you can see the baseball games in the spring or bad weather. It's just an addition to our donor suite. People that sponsor our game days work in here and they have all this space, so they have stadium seating in here for our donor suite, and they can, I don't know, fit 20, 25 people in here, and then they've got the availability to the kitchenette area and the fridge and the bar and both sides, baseball and football. So this is Mike Dill and his wife and his family, Mike and Shelly Dill. They're the biggest benefactors to us for our field house and this stadium. His daughters went to school here, and he's been instrumental in allowing us to be able to fund these projects and to fund our Jumbotron and our field house, our weight room and this press box, and pretty much everything that we do. So we're incredibly grateful to him and his family. His children, Mary was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader as well, and so she was actually a babysitter for my kids, and so we've just been really blessed to have them in our lives. Back down, don't get to avoid the steps. When you're going down to talk to your kids at halftime and to talk to the coaches and meet about the game and not have to walk through the crowd and walk through the stands and be able to just hop on and go down and go to the field house or go to your group, it's a huge benefit. The opposing coaches have loved it for sure. So it's a really nice thing to be able to have that opportunity to do that. Something we were lacking before is a really nice, clean in and out. You know where you're at when you walk up to that logo.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. The Davis Wolves are a perennial powerhouse when it comes to high school football in the state of Oklahoma, but they're trying to elevate their track and field program to a whole new level with this Epic 3000 track installed by Hellas.
Yeah, this Epic 3000 track is an excellent surface for our kids to work out in and run on. We want as many kids doing as many sports as possible, and having a track like this is going to attract kids to run track. Timing was just perfect. The new lane changes came out just right before they were striping our track, so we were lucky on the timing on that. It's good for our community. It's good for our students. We want to build our track program and host as many track meets in the spring as we can. We're at a prime location right off I-35, right in South Central Oklahoma. We can attract probably 20, 30 schools with the facility that we have here. Jared Carr with Hellas came in at the end of this project. He was really paying attention to detail and got everything finished, and we are extremely pleased with the product that we have now. I've had a superintendent call me from a little farther south than us asking about it, and I've given him the recommendation that he needs to give Hellas a call if they pass a bond issue and invite him up here to see our track.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
This is an Epic 300 track. This is one of the finest facilities that I've been a part of. I love this track. And we elected to go with just a 6-lane, which suits our needs very well. We actually put our discus ring on this north end of the field, throwing out into the grass. Our high jump is on the south end of our track. Our shot put disc is outside on the southeast corner, and then we have our long jump pits are on the outside part of the fence also.
Sweetwater High School is a Class B school here in the panhandle of Oklahoma. They don't play football, but they do have 3 sports, including track. Hellas came out here here and installed a 300 track, and it has been a big hit with not only this local community, but with the athletes who run on it.
Since we installed this track, our interest has increased tenfold. That's been a big push for us in the small community for sure. The superintendent is actually a gentleman that I started coaching with whenever I started. He and I coached together in Boise City. I was actually in California at the time. He had an opening and he called and asked if I would be interested in coming back to be part of his administration team and to come coach here, and I was ready to come back to Oklahoma, so it worked out well.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Power. I'm here in Langston, Oklahoma. This is the home of the Lions of Langston University. They've got a V300 Epic track and also a Velocity turf field with real fill infill by Hellas Construction. Let's find out more about this Epic V300 track and the advantages for the athletes here in Langston.
The V300 Epic track really stands out here at Langston because of the different color contrast on the exchange zones. The new deceleration zone allows for student athletes to decrease their speed more efficiently with less space and time. This newest feature to the track should definitely decrease our student athletes' injuries. The softness of the track really stands out for our student athletes, especially those that perform the triple jump or the long jump. The added long jump pit gives our student athletes access to training in actual sand for improving their landing techniques. The King jump pits also have customized covers to keep the sand clean. Our Lions and Lady Lions color scheme is blue and orange. And with the combination of both here on our track and on our field, it just all comes together and makes it pop. Being a competitive member in the Sooner Athletic Conference and having updated facilities definitely gives our student athletes an athletic advantage.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
I truly feel this is one of the top facilities. So when you combine the viewing, the clubhouse with 31,000 square feet and being a public facility, this has got to be one of the top facilities without question in the world. A lot of fun watching Hellas do their work. Before they poured any concrete, all the dirt work, packing it down, putting the rocks down, the limestone. It was such an important part of the process so we don't have cracks in our courts. As a result, we have a product like this.
Edmond Center Court has TPS court surfacing by Hellas, and now this community is a worldwide tennis destination with their 24 outdoor courts and 6 on the indoor, set up for championship-style tennis play.
24 courts is extremely appealing to USTA, ITF. This will just help attract more sectional and national level events. Just a wow factor when you walk in here that you want to give it a go. Try out this sport.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. Hellas Construction is the largest vertically integrated sports construction company in the United States, focused on general construction of sports facilities and sports surfaces. Hellas specializes in the base construction, installation, and maintenance of synthetic turf systems, track systems, tennis courts, and multi-use playing surfaces. A complete turf system consists of turf, pad, and infill. With close to 750 pieces of heavy construction equipment, specialized Hellas crews inspect and prepare the underlying surface to ensure stability. Shock pads, including the Cush drain or GMAX drain, are placed over the laser-graded drainstone foundation. The pad or drain acts as a safety device for your turf system. Matrix turf fibers are manufactured at the Hellas Fiber Factory in Alabama. The quality materials give the fibers a natural look and feel, providing a soft yet strong surface with a long lifespan. At Hellas Textiles, the Matrix turf fibers are tufted into a triple-layered, dimensionally stable backing, which is then fused with polyurethane coating from Hellas Polymers in Texas, creating an exceptionally strong tuft bind. Hellas has never had a field fail in the history of the company. Once the turf system is installed, the infill plays an important role by helping to create a uniform, predictable playing surface on the synthetic turf field. Hellas uses pea gravel instead of sand to prevent drainage issues at the base of the turf, which also helps the fibers stand firm. Real Fill or SBR Crumb Rubber is the most popular infill, but the cooling agents in GeoPlus, Ecotherm, and Cork are scientifically tested and proven to work. All of these infills are essential to the longevity of your field. A Hellas track crew will install the Epic Track system with a poured-in-place track surface that is impermeable and installed in multi-layered applications. The Epic Track's product line offers a variety of running systems that have specific advantages for your athletes. Everything passes through quality control to bring you the best sports track systems available. When it comes to tennis, look no further than Hellas. Whether it's building new courts, resurfacing, mending cracks, or installing nets, Hellas installation crews will deliver a fine and durable surface. Hellas manufactures TPS court surfacing available in nearly a dozen different colors. Post-tensioning is a method of compressing the concrete under 33,000 psi of pressure with cables to increase the integrity of each slab, creating a strong crack prevention foundation. Hellas uses laser-guided technology to achieve a consistent level of quality and guarantees a flawless finish. The design-build concept from product manufacturing, construction, and maintenance is what sets Hellas apart. The details are in the design build, from grandstands, press boxes, restrooms, elevators, lighting, parking lots, and more. Hellas is your complete solution to your sports facility idea. Hellas controls the supply chain from the quality of your product to every aspect of your project. The goal is to exceed the client's expectations and build long-term relationships while being on time and on budget. Hellas Construction, building for sports from start to finish. When it comes to sports construction, look no further than Hellas. The industry leader manufactures and installs athletic surfaces. Hellas delivers a vertically integrated solution for every stage of construction from concept through completion. It's a design build from product manufacturing, which begins at the Hellas Fiber plant in Alabama and is tufted in the Hellas Textile plant in Georgia. The Polymers plant in Texas is where court and track surfacing begins, which leads to the completion of your design build project. project. On the surface, Hellas installs track, tennis, and turf, but it's the details and the design that differentiates Hellas from the rest, including grandstands, press boxes, parking lots, restrooms, sports lighting, and more. Having Hellas as your design build partner means your project goes through only one company, which gives Hellas the control to complete your project on time and on budget. Hellas is your complete solution to your sports facility project. One concept, one vision, one company. Hellas Construction. Now certified to kill coronavirus, Clean03 by Hellas Construction is a field disinfection program that provides peace of mind to synthetic turf owners. In addition to effectively eliminating the coronavirus, Clean03 also eliminates MRSA, Salmonella, noroviruses, and E. coli by applying ozone to the surface. Ozone, or O3, is a molecule with 3 oxygen atoms. Ozone is a very strong oxidant and baricide. O3 is routinely used to treat drinking water. Using a specifically designed machine, Hellas Construction maintenance technicians methodically apply ozone to the field. The Clean03 machine converts water to ozone, which attacks coronavirus and other contaminants before reverting to oxygen. No chemicals are used in the process. Other treatments shine a UV light over the surface, which only reaches the exposed surface fibers and infill particles. Hellas's ozone treatment creates a mist that permeates deeper than light treatments, expanding into all the surface's nooks and crannies. A cost-effective add-on service, Clean03 disinfection is available through Hellas's Clean Sweep maintenance program. When you add the Clean03 application to a field grooming service, you sterilize and prolong the life of your field at the same time. For more frequent disinfection schedules, the Clean03 machine is available for purchase. A complimentary training service is included with the price. Our technicians will deliver and assemble the Clean03 machine and instruct your groundskeepers on best practices and procedures. Clean03 Disinfection by Hellas. The Hellas installation process when it comes to concrete pouring and post-tensioning begins with leveling the subbase of the site to within tolerance. Encapsulated tendons are placed in both directions with spacing that is determined by design specifications. The forms are placed and a vapor barrier is put down to prepare for concrete placement, which is pumped into place and precisely level using either a laser or manual screed to ensure strict tolerance is achieved. A riding trowel is specifically designed for use working over large areas of concrete. Post-tensioning places the concrete under constant compression to provide strict tolerances and planarity requirements of professional level venues. Hellas Construction uses laser-guided technology to achieve this consistent level of quality. Post-tensioning increases the structural integrity of the concrete through the process of tensioning the cables, which compresses the slab. Each slab is tensioned to 33,000 psi, ensuring a strong crack-resistant foundation. A typical 5-inch post-tension concrete slab will provide the same compressed strength as a conveniently reinforced 7-inch slab. The slab is finished ensuring planarity and a uniform texture across the entirety of the courts. Post-tension foundations add value and protect your long-term investment by the ability to span across unstable soils and increased resistance to localized settling, elimination of crack maintenance with no intervening joints, and a better slope for drainage with uniformity and predictability of play. Once the concrete is cured for a minimum of 28 days, the surface can be prepared for the TPS color coding process. Go to hellasconstruction.com for details. The TPS color coding process begins with power washing. Now, acid washing is for concrete surfaces only, followed by the patching and grinding of any cracks. Hellas Construction is a certified installer of the Right Way and Armor Crack Repair systems. Once the low and high areas, including cracks, are smoothed out, the courts are flooded once again. When no more patching is required, an acrylic surface is applied to bond the concrete or asphalt so the court paint can be applied. The first coat of paint is targeted for the inside play area. Available in about half a dozen standard colors and a few more premium colors, a second coat is applied inside the play area, followed by the first and second coat of paint along the outside area. TPS court surfaces offer multiple options for any sport, including tennis, pickleball, basketball, and futsal. The lines are taped and sealed with a coat of line sealer to guarantee a crisp stripe at every edge. Once the sealer has dried, the lines are painted with a roller or brush. These tennis court markings are laid out onto the cured court and installed to the standards set by the United States Tennis Association. After all of the lines of the court are fully coated, the tape is removed and the lines are left to dry. Once the crisp, clean playing surface is cured, the final stage before play begins include reinstalling the nets and posts, and then the final cleanup and walkthrough inspection with the client. A full line of accessories are available to customize each court, including fencing, windscreens, custom logos, cabana benches, and lights. For more on TPS court surfacing, visit hellasconstruction.com. Major Play, redefining the field. Introducing the most advanced baseball turf system ever designed to emulate natural grass and clay while supporting every play for a perfect game. No equipment, no fertilizer, no lines, no rainouts. Less maintenance, saving time and money. It's a level playing field that is built to drain. A fresh cut look with replaceable sections are available in high slide areas to keep the field fresh. We've tested and tailored the Major Play systems to perfection with the best natural grass ballparks in the nation. From pitching, hitting, sliding, ball bounces, and speed consistency. Major Play is a home run. Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. Ecotherm Infill has a very unique shape and the necessary distribution process which allows the green-colored infill to keep a field 20 degrees cooler than synthetic turf with SBR black crumb rubber infill.
You can tell the difference in the heat. It brings the temperature down so much better. When you fall on it, it doesn't burn you.
People that can testify for that the most are our kids. They noticed a difference right away as far as the heat with the new infill.
Irrigation is not required, and Ecotherm is 100% recyclable because it's made from vinyl TPU and cellulose fibers that are less than 2.5 millimeters in size. Pea gravel actually holds the Ecotherm in place, avoiding flyout when players are running on it, providing superior foot stability while assisting in shock absorption and drainage.
You can't go wrong with it.
Ecotherm Infill, the best way to cool your field without water while providing a surface system your players will thrive on. Synthetic turf fields will last longer and play safer with proper drainage, beginning with an elastic layer cush drain. The elastic shock pad includes mineral aggregate, rubber granules, and moisture-cured polyurethane binder. The cush drain is precisely paved into place over a laser-graded drain stone. The porous cush drain draws water through the field surface into the drainage system quickly, which results in more practice time on the field. Look how water instantly pours through the cush drain pad.
I think the cush drain is the most important part of this whole deal. Our elementary school kids come over and use the field when it's rainy. Our band's out here marching on it. I mean, it's used all day long.
In addition to water, the cush drain is also resistant to rot, mildew, freeze thaw, and compression set associated with normal athletic field use. The elastic layer provides planarity that holds its form and position through 3 to 4 life cycles of the turf. The cush drain, the best investment for your athlete's safety.
In Hellas's innovation, they came up with the idea of what we call high wear panels. And if you look real closely here on these baseball, softball fields, your high wear areas are, of course, first base, second, third, batter's box, home plate, catcher area, and your pitcher mount. This field's about 40 ounces overall in face weight. Your high wear panel is 80 ounces. We've doubled the face weight. It's much more dense. It's going to make this area last longer because it's got twice as much face weight and fiber. These panels, you'll notice, are just Velcroed in. So they'll pull the Velcro panel out, they'll work this infill into a new panel, we'll leave them extra infill as well, they'll use a shop broom and brush that in, and they will then Velcro this panel back in. They're also able to do that at the pitcher's mound, they're also able to do that on the right left-handed batter and catcher area, but this has been a great innovation from Hellas, really cuts down the cost, really makes it easier on the client, and over time you're going to get this wear, but there's nothing better than a high wear panel from Hellas Construction.
One of the things that we're most proud of and the most amazing thing about the project we just finished in Las Vegas at Clark County School District is it was 29 fields being built at the exact same time. So they were all natural grass fields that were in fairly poor condition. We built brand new fields, took out all the dirt, renovated it, put in all new sub-base drainage systems, put in new drain stone, put in the famous Cush drain pad. We retrofitted all the lights to LED. We put in the new Helix technology. We put in the cooling technology with the cool fill material, put in new sprinkler systems, and basically brought this school district in a matter of 6 months, 29 fields phase 2, 3 fields in phase 1, all of it done within about a 6-month time frame. Without any doubt, great value for the school district.
We had 22 construction crews that did the mass excavation of the existing natural grass. We had 7 irrigation crews that were installing the Hunter irrigation systems. We had 7 lighting crews that were installing the new Musco components. We had 4 Cush drain crews that were doing the track Cush drain components. And then we ended up having 14 turf crews, all of this self-performed.
We've never had so many turf crews working in one area together before, and we're getting it done on time and under budget.
A lot of moving parts, all have to be coordinated at the same time. It was a really large undertaking. It's exciting. Hard work pays off, and there's no better feeling than that. That step forward to help them achieve their goals speaks volumes. Together we're better. You know, you see that on the building, you see it on our logos and everything. And we've proven that to be the staple of our company. You know, we're all one big family. We're all trying to achieve the same goal.
It was a huge undertaking. We're super proud of the deliverables that we delivered to the Clark County School District. Most importantly, all these kids are going to come back to school and have these unbelievable facilities.
Our flag football girls are really excited because they love to come out here and play under the lights as well. Soccer is excited about being able to come down here. Really, our team sports that play on this field, they really literally can't wait.
In fact, we got the blue end zones with the Golden Rabbit Valley. I mean, everybody loves it. So we were real happy with it. I think it looks great, so we're excited to play on it. Clark County has a little bit of everything, so Hellas has been all over the place in Southern Nevada.
This project was more about the high school and the kids and doing something to, to help the community and give them a good, safe place to play. They looked around, and Hellas was the only one that could do a project of that scale in that amount of time.
We've taken this from the geotechnical studies, from the owner approvals. We did surveys on each and every school. We take that data and information, send it to our design team in Austin, Texas at headquarters. They turn it into a CAD drawing. We permit it back through the city, and then we have multiple tasks and crews.
I'm in Laughlin, Nevada right now. Of course, this is where Clark County's southernmost high school is located, Laughlin High School. Temperatures get up into the 120s. In fact, the record is 131. But the GeoCool fill is just crucial for places like this, where you can reduce that temperature of the field by 40 degrees compared to, say, SBR crumb rubber.
The fact that we can cool it down is going to be good for our kids and really be good for our program. I can't imagine another field in the United States that gets hotter than this. I'm intrigued and excited and fascinated to see how this is all going to work with this whole cooling process. It's going to be fun to see.
With this field and knowing that it's going to stay cooler when we're on it during the height of those practices, it's a great feeling for us, and we're excited about that as well.
These systems can be extremely hot without the proper organics, infill, and irrigation provided by Hellas to lower those temps. The systems that they have are 100% organic. They are irrigated overnight, 3 to 4 minutes on a cycle time to keep the infill moist. And when the sun comes up in the morning during the heat of the day, the infill is designed to retain the moisture and lower the field temperatures by perhaps 20 to 35%.
They took our advice, they took a chance on us, and we installed our GeoCool infill and our Cush drain system, which brought the temperature of the fields down tremendously in the valley.
We're putting down 19 millimeters of Cush drain, and it's a blend of rubber, rock, and polyurethane binder. So we have mixing machines that mix it, and we have pavers that we take it out, put it in front of the paver, and we pave it right out, just like you're paving asphalt, basically. The Cush drain will last 30 years. So if this field has to be replaced in 10, 15 years, the Cush drain will still be there.
Looking forward to fall and playing, and it's been missing, and our kids need it.
Shout out to Hellas for coming out here and doing this project for us, and our kids are ecstatic and excited to be able to finally play on it.
With the beautiful desert mountain scenery, these Hellas fields really stand out, really pop.
We own Las Vegas, both from the pros to the high schools. You know, we have a local office there in town. Anything anybody wants in Las Vegas when it comes to sports playing fields, we are the #1 provider in town.
You guys are phenomenal to work with from day one back on January 9th when you first got here until today. This has been a great experience for Laughlin High School and the community of Laughlin.
The people of Las Vegas and Clark County School District have been amazing, and we're so happy to be involved with that, with the community support.
It's been a huge project, but a huge shout out to Hellas. Definitely, we're just so appreciative and grateful, and our kids are so looking forward to being on it.
It's like a dream come true. We've been talking about it for 30 years, hoping and wishing, and now here it is.
Hellas has done an excellent job of just taking the initiative and getting the work done, not only in a timely manner, but professionally, taking pride in their work.
I really do appreciate Hellas for all the work they've done.
It's the largest single contract award in the history of America, to our knowledge. When you buy 32 fields at one time and we mobilize in town, scale of values being created.
Located in Austin, Hellas thinks bigger with innovative technology designed to put the student athlete's safety first. Epic Tracks by Hellas are polyurethane running surfaces which use high-grade, eco-friendly raw materials. The Epic Tracks line ranges from entry-level base mat surfaces to full-pore polyurethane systems suitable for international track meets. The Epic Tracks lineup offers a range of price points that varies with specifications and ratios of polyurethane and rubber. Polyurethane binder is the glue that holds the rubber granules together and is the most expensive raw material in the track system. Base mat surfaces include more rubber and less polyurethane binder than full pore systems. While base mat products require lower initial investments, their life cycle costs outpace higher end full pore systems as they require more frequent resurfacing and replacement. At the upper end, the Epic Tracks line features poured in place polyurethane systems with rubber broadcast into the track. Full pore surfaces utilize more polyurethane than rubber. After curing, the system forms a homogeneous surface which can be built upon over time by adding subsequent layers of polyurethane and rubber, improving performance and providing cost savings over time. Although base mat products have a lower initial price tag, they actually cost more in the long term. Epic Tracks, faster, smarter, stronger.
What's mainly important to clients, unfortunately, comes down to budget. So number one is always budget. They want to know how much money do we maybe need to put in a bond, how much money do we need to raise. So it's budget is usually number one. A good budget for a football field is probably around $850,000 to $900,000, and a good budget for a baseball field is right around $1 million. And then a good budget, if you were doing like a softball field that's much smaller, is about $500,000. So we try to give them a budget that we know we can attain or get to based on the basics of building a field. If we're replacing a football field, it's about 5 days to get the turf up, disposed of. Then it's about 5 days if they add a pad, and then it's about 20 to 25 days to put the new field down. It's usually about a 30-day period, 35 days if you're looking at a football field. Be the same for a baseball field, the size they are. Typically they don't have a pad, so it might be about 5 days shorter, and it'd be a little bit shorter for a softball field because it's smaller. The main thing is it's usually about 30-day period to get a field replaced. They want to know for their return on their investment, what's the longevity of the field? And that's where we like to be able to say Hellas leads the industry with fields that average 10.8 years, so it's the longevity. But we tell everybody to have their money ready at the 10-year period, and then if you squeeze an 11th or a 12th year out of that field because you took great care of it, that's even better. But 10 years is a good lifespan expectancy of a good turf field. Usually you're going to lose a little time off your field and be more like in the 8 or 9 year range if you don't do the proper maintenance. It's not a lot, these fields aren't maintenance free, but you do need to keep them groomed and swept and have us come in and do a clean sweep every so often to get that full return.
Hellas Construction provides a dynamic and controllable lighting system that has the ability to be upgraded all the way to full color on the customer's playing surface.
The lights and the celebration package, turn the lights off and colors, it just adds to the excitement of the game.
The kids loved it. We got that from the University of Alabama. I guess that's something we liked about that, and it was definitely different. That was unique, to say the least.
LED stadium lighting has taken over the lighting market. Why? Because they're safe, efficient, and provide brighter light.
The LED lights, they seem to brighten up a lot more. It shoots the light out a lot further. It's not as hot a light.
Not only do LED lights provide less light pollution, but they're also sleek and more directional.
It is a lot more directional. It keeps the light more towards what we're trying to light rather than spilling off the field and off the track.
Each sport has different lighting requirements, including baseball and softball, where the ball needs to be lit from below as well as above so the outfielders can see it better.
With the ball tracking system, it's a series of lighting on about halfway up the pole, that when the ball gets above the lights, then the ball tracking system that's about halfway up reflects the light from the top underneath the ball, so the ball is able to be seen when it gets above the lights.
I love it with these new lights and the tracking system that they have here incorporated. It's really easy to find the ball just as long as you're seeing it off the bat.
The lights, they've been a game changer for us. You know, the ball tracker, it picks up the ball and it doesn't blind the kids like, you know, the old lights would. They're amazing. I would recommend them to anybody. It's fun as a coach, and I can get on my phone and turn them on from the dugout instead of having to walk all the way down.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish.
It's definitely a gentleman run. There's no wind down here, there's wind up there.
Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Power. I'm at Cornerstone Christian School in San Antonio. We're going to go through the process of installing lights.
There's a base for this pole. We set it, we concreted in. When they actually fly the poles, we put all the lights on them. They pick the whole thing up with a crane, and then it slides over the top of the base. And then from there, it's piping in everything, digging to each pole, running the circuit up, hooking everything up. There's inherent dangers with working with electricity. Work with a lot of 480, big three-phase. Obviously the heights, you mitigate as much as you can. And once we set the poles and stuff, we have to go up there and aim them. They use lasers and stuff to measure out on the field to hit certain spots in the field so that you're getting an even light. University of Oklahoma, they have 200-foot poles. I mean, so it can get pretty high. We have safety equipment. We wear all our PPE. You definitely can't have any fear of heights.
It's scary when the wind's hot up a little bit.
It's a stable platform, but it does swing, especially with the wind up that high. If they have a new press box, we'll wire up the scoreboards, we'll wire up the time clocks. Pretty much anything electrical on the field we can do. We watch out for each other. Other than that, for most of us, it's just another day. The lighting department definitely put another tool on their tool belt to be able to tell people, like, hey, we can handle that for you as well.
Hellas, building for sports from start to finish. Hellas Construction has installed over 10,000 miles of turf spread out over the landscape of America. From Seattle to Miami and headquarters in between, Hellas Construction, where more than the game matters. From start to finish, thousands of fields in this great country are born in the fiber factories of Alabama and manufactured in the textile plants of Georgia. The foundation of the company is in the detail of the manufacturing. Hellas Construction cares, and it shows in each strand. The fiber extrusion process begins with these monofilament extruders, which produce raw polyethylene resin pellets, which are mixed with a master batch of different color pellets. Once melted and pushed through holes in the spinneret in a molten state, these pellets travel through chilled water in the quench tank. The material solidifies as it is slit into individual tapes. Both lines go through a water removal process to ensure we do not have slippage in the drawing process, which is where the monofilaments go through a series of rollers to draw or stretch the yarn. This process produces maximum strength and durability while also maintaining the desired shrinkage, uniformity, and physical characteristics throughout the life of the yarn. The final fiber process is known as twisting, which is required to ensure the yarn package will process in tufting or fabric formation. Hellas invests in the exact same raw materials for the slit film product as the monofilament yarn. Our experienced fiber extrusion team handles every strand of fiber that goes into the turf. Follow us into the footsteps of tradition in Chatsworth, Georgia, where it's time to tuft the turf at the Hellas Textiles factory. From technology and experience, Hellas manufactures the finest synthetic turf systems in the country. Hellas Textiles manages everything from turf inspection to yarn quality testing through tufting, coating, and delivery of the synthetic turf systems. We live in a world of competition through perfection, and that feeds the very fiber of who we are at Hellas Construction. 100% inspection and quality analysis is a priority and performed on all of the yarn at Hellas Textiles. With a combination of over 50 years of turf manufacturing experience in Chatsworth, each of the state-of-the-art machines can be fine-tuned to produce custom synthetic turf for Hellas customers in a third of the time as the industry standard. Hellas Construction has total control of all manufacturing processes with state-of-the-art equipment, machinery, and the experience needed to ensure that our clients receive the highest quality of turf customized to fit each unique specification. Hellas Construction. We're covering America in turf, one field at a time.